Hello children, welcome to the 8th standard first language English class. In today's session, we will be watching the second session of The Boy Who Sold Wisdom. Now, are you all ready with the assignments I had given to you in the previous session? Okay, now let's quickly go through it and find out what's the correct answer. Let's check if your answers tally with the answers that come up on the screen now. Now, this was the first assignment that I had given to you. You had to do the dictionary work. You had to find the meanings of these words using a dictionary. Now, let's look at each of them and find out if you have found out the right answer, and also in today's class we will see how to use it. Yes, here comes the first word, banished. It means send somebody out of the country as punishment. Now, have you heard of anyone being sent out like this out of a country as punishment? Now, let's see the example here. The Pandavas were banished from their kingdom. Look at the second word, persuade. It means to convince. How do we use it in a sentence? It is very difficult to persuade old people to wear a mask. Yes, now you would have seen that it is very difficult to convince old people to wear a mask because they feel very uncomfortable. Let's look at the next word, feign. Now, what does it mean? It means pretend. Pretend. How do we use it in a sentence? The kids always feign sleep when I go to check upon them. It means that they pretend to be sleeping. They are not really sleeping, they pretend to be sleeping when I go and see or probably peek into their rooms. Now, let's look into the next word, ruse. Ruse is an action intended to deceive someone. In simpler words, it means a trick. Have you got this answer from the dictionary? Okay, now let's see how to use it in a sentence. It was only a ruse to get her alone. It was only a ruse to get her alone. It means it was only a trick to bring her out alone. Now, let's move to the next word, engrave. Yes, the last 4 words were given as homework. Now, the words that now come up are the ones which are going to be used in today's class. So, note them down, children. The first word is engrave. Means to cut words or designs on wood, stone, metal, etc. Now, let's see how we can use this in a sentence. Smita had a ring with her initials engraved on it. It means Smita's ring had her initials engraved or cut on her ring. The next word is scrape. A difficult predicament or a problem caused by one's own unwise behavior. Now, let's see how to use it in a sentence. He has been in worse scrapes than this before. It means he has been in a much more difficult situation than this before because of his unwise behavior. The next word is babbled. It means to talk quickly or in a way that is difficult to understand. Now, how do we use it? They babbled on about their holiday trip, which means they went on telling something which I probably did not understand. This was the second assignment that was given, children. Now, do you remember? Now, let's check the answers. This is an extract. Let's check the answers for this extract. I do not sell wisdom by weight. I sell it by quality. Now, who said this? Yes, you are absolutely right. It's simple, right? The answer is Nagendra. Now, let's move to the next question. When was this said? Check if your answer is right. This was said when Babu wanted to know how much a kg of wisdom costed. I am sure you would have written the right answer. Let's see what's the next one. What does it mean? So, what does I do not sell wisdom by weight, I sell it by quality mean? Wisdom can only be measured by its quality and not by its weight. So, this is the meaning of the extract. Now let's see the next extract. If you want your money back, you will have to sign a document. Now, do you recall these questions? Now let's see if your answers are right. Now the first question is, who said this? Yes, it was Nagendra again. Now let's look at the next question. When was this said? Yes, this statement was made when Mr. Gupta demanded the return of the money from Nagendra. So he asked Nagendra to give back the money. So that was when Nagendra spoke these words. Now let's see the third question. What did it say? What was written in the document? What was written in the document? Do you remember? Yes, it was written that Babu would never use Nagendra's advice, and he would always stand and watch people fighting. Okay, now we will quickly move to the third assignment, children. What were you supposed to do? You were supposed to fill in the blank with the word since or for. So now let's check the answers. The film has been on at the theatres since July. Yes, the first answer is since July. If you remember, we used the word since when we spoke about time, that is a particular point of time. So here July is a particular point of time, so we have used the word since. Now let's look at the second one. She has been on a holiday for the last 3 weeks. Yes, for is used with duration. Which word suggests duration here? Last 3 weeks suggests duration. So we have used the word for. Now quickly let's go to the third question. She hasn't been here. What is the answer now? Month is a duration. So the answer should be for. She hasn't been here for a month. Now let's look at the next one. No one has lived there dash 1989. So recall 1989 is a point of time or duration, and let's check the answer now. Yes, it is since. No one has lived there since 1989. The next question is the first time I have been here since the accident. Yes, this question was probably a little confusing for you, but now understand the accident happened at a point of time. Therefore, we have used the word since. Now, are you clear with the concept of using of since and for? Very good. I am sure you would have all written the right answers. Now, let's quickly recall the story that we learnt in the previous session. The story is based on a boy named Nagendra who had opened a stall in the marketplace. It had a placard, "Wisdom for sale." One day, an ignorant and foolish boy, Babu, came and bought wisdom worth a nickel from him. This angered his father, Gupta, a merchant. The father and son went back to return the wisdom and to get back the nickel. Nagendra returned the nickel by making the father sign a contract. According to it, the boy would never use the wisdom or advice given by him. Instead, he would always stand and watch two people quarreling. This once put him into trouble, as he was a witness to the quarrel between the maids of the two queens of the kingdom. Now let's see what happens next. Open your textbooks and start reading along with me. It is 8th paragraph. The two maids went to their queens and told them about the quarrel, adding all sorts of colorful details to it. The queens were now furious and sent complaints to the king. Each of them sent word to Babu that he was the witness on her side. If he didn't speak in support of her, she would have his head chopped off. Babu was in panic. When his father heard of this, he too was in a panic. Finally, the boy said, "Let's go and ask Nagendra. He has wisdom to sell. Let's see what he has to say to get me out of this scrape." So the father and son went to Nagendra, who said he would help, but the fee would be 500 rupees. Gupta paid him the money, and Nagendra said, when they call you to court, pretend to be insane. Behave as if you understand nothing of what they say. Next day, the king called the witness. He and his minister asked Babu various questions, but he wouldn't answer any one of them. He merely babbled and uttered nonsensical syllables till the king lost his patience and drove him out of the courtroom. Babu was delighted by the success of the ruse. He told everyone about Nagendra's great wisdom, which soon became a buzzword in the marketplace. Now, Gupta was not pleased. He saw that his son would have to feign madness always, or else the king would find out he had been tricked. He would certainly chop off his son's head if he found out. So, back they went to Nagendra for more wisdom. For another 500 rupees, Nagendra advised them, go back to the king when he is in a good mood and tell him the whole story. He will find it amusing and will forgive you. But make sure he is in a mood of laughter. And so Babu followed the advice given by Nagendra. He found the king in a merry mood and told him the whole story. The king laughed a lot and forgave him. Now look into your text. We'll start with the 11th paragraph. Then the king, who was intrigued by what he had heard of Nagendra in the market, sent for him and asked if he had any more wisdom to sell. Nagendra said, of course, I have plenty to sell, especially to a king, but my fee would be 100,000 rupees. The king paid him the 100,000 and Nagendra gave him a piece of paper on which he had written, think deeply before you do anything. Think deeply before you do anything. The king was so delighted with the advice that he made it his motto. He had it embroidered on his pillows and engraved on his cups and plates so that he would not forget it. Some months later, the king fell ill. The minister and one of his queens had been conspiring to get rid of him. So they bribed the doctor and persuaded him to poison the king's medicine. When the medicine was brought to the king and he lifted the golden cup to his lips, he read the words engraved on it, think deeply before you do anything. Without suspecting anything, he thought about the words, lowered the cup and looked at the medicine in it. The doctor, who was watching all this, felt nervous. His guilty conscience made him believe that the king had guessed that his medicine had been poisoned. While the king was thinking, the doctor threw himself at his feet to be forgiven. But the king ordered that the doctor must be arrested. Then he sent for the minister and the queen and insisted that they drink the poison in his cup. They too fell at his feet and begged for mercy. He ordered them to be hanged and he banished the doctor from his kingdom. He made Nagendra his minister and honored him with wealth. How did you like the story, children? Yes, good, isn't it? It has a moral in it. Now, before we find out what's the moral in it, let's check our comprehension of the text that we have just read today. Are you ready? Very quickly keep writing down the questions as well as try to answer the questions. Okay, let's look at the first question that comes up. What did the two maids do? What did the two maids do? Yes, the answer is the maids complained about the quarrel to their queens. Did you get the answer? Okay. We will move to the next question. Why did Babu panic? Why did Babu panic? Let's see the answer. Each of the queens threatened Babu that his head would be chopped off if he did not support them. Yes, now each of the queen's maids had seen Babu seeing their quarrel. So, they made him his witness. Now, why did Babu panic? He panicked because the queens told that his head would be chopped off if he did not support their side. Now, let us look at the next question. Why did Babu and his father go to Nagendra the second time? Do you remember why he went? Now, let us check the answer. Babu and his father went to Nagendra to get some advice to save Babu from the problem. Now, what was the problem? The problem was, yes, if he did not become the witness for either of the queens, his head would be chopped off. Yes.